Today, in the media conference with Lal Goel, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And today, our topic is COVID returns impact on students. But before I will go on the main topic, I would like to inform you that today world is observing World Tuberculosis Day. World Tuberculosis Day is observed on 24th March each year, is designed to build public awareness about the global epidemic of tuberculosis, TB, and efforts to eliminate the disease. In 2018, 10 million people fell ill with TB and 1.5 million died from the disease, mostly in low and middle income countries. This also makes it the leading cause of death from an infectious disease. As per the World Health Organization, WHO, total TB cases in India were 26.4 lakhs in 2019. 4,36,000 people lost their life due to tuberculosis in 2019, which is more than total number of deaths due to COVID in last 1 year. Media conference with Lal Goel hopes that government as well as civil society will take this disease seriously and start taking all the precautions as they are taking for COVID. Now coming to the main topic, that is the COVID returns impact on students. बड़ी मजेदार महामारी आई दुनिया में, रोग के विषाणुओं को पीना सीख जाएंगे। मृत्यु जो नाचती है दुनिया जहान में, तो देख देख सब ताक धीना सीख जाएंगे। बच्चे बूढ़े युवा सब भूल गए जिंदगी को, डर से वो ईका डीका मीना सीख जाएंगे। मतवाला कहता ये बात सुन लीजिए जी, कोरोना के संग संग जीना सीख जाएंगे। This poem, short poem, was written by Mr. Paramatmanand Pandey Matwala. He is the president of Utho Jago Foundation. He is a journalist and farmer. Student life is the seed of your life. Plant it wisely. Be a student of success. Learn everything you can from those who have been the most successful. A student is primarily a person enrolled in a school or other educational institution and who is under learning with goals of acquiring knowledge, developing professions, and achieving easy employment at a particular field. In the broader sense, a student is anyone who applies themselves to the intensive intellectual engagement with some matter necessary to master it as part of some practical affairs in which such mastery is basic or decisive. Amid the resurge in the COVID-19 cases in India, several states have imposed restrictions including full lockdown and night curfew to contain the spread of the virus. According to the Union Health Ministry, Maharashtra, Punjab, Karnataka, Gujarat, and Chhattisgarh are accounting for more than 80% of the new coronavirus cases. Apart from these 5 states, the coronavirus has created fear in Madhya Pradesh and Delhi, with these states registering a record number of cases in 2021. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected educational system worldwide, leading to the near total closures of schools, universities, and colleges. Most governments decided to temporarily close educational institutions in an attempt to reduce the spread of COVID-19. As of 12th January 2021, approximately 825 million learners are currently affected due to school closures in response to the pandemic. According to UNICEF monitoring, 23 countries are currently implementing nationwide closure and 40 are implementing local closures, impacting about 47% of the world's student population. 112 countries' schools are currently open. In response to school closure, UNESCO recommended the use of distance learning programs and open educational applications and platforms that schools and teachers can use to reach learners remotely and limit the disruption of education. In India, total number of universities are 993. Total higher educational institutions are 51,649. Total number of teachers in higher education are 14.16 lakhs and students are 3.74 crores. The education sectors of India as well as world are badly affected by this. Keeping in view a fresh surge in COVID-19 cases, which is being witnessed in some part of the country, the Ministry of Home Affairs, MHA, extended the guidelines pertaining to coronavirus in the country till 30th April 2021, as well as maintained strict surveillance and caution during this period. The extended guidelines and SOPs will come into effect from 1st April in order to contain the spread of the virus, MHA said in a statement. Under the new guidelines, the government stressed increased testing and adherence to COVID-appropriate behavior. India registered 47,264 cases of coronavirus and 277 related fatalities, which have taken the country's cumulative total tally past 11.73 million and the death toll to 1,60,477 in the last 24 hours. Now, to discuss today's this very, very important topic, because we were discussing for last 1 year about COVID-19. And for last almost 4 or 5 months, the COVID-19, which has receded, and we were very, very comfortable situation. But now for last 1 month, it has again came back. And the day before yesterday only, the Punjab government mentioned clearly that they have the UK mutant, which is 80% found in the test in Punjab, which is 70% faster than the earlier COVID-19 mutant. And it is 30% more deadly. So it means this time, this resurgence, which is, if it will not be contained immediately, it is going to be a disaster, a country like us, because we have seen the lockdown condition, which affected us very badly, financially, mentally, physically, and educationally also. And again, if this resurgence is not going to stop at this time, then it will be a very, very big disaster. To discuss this, we have a very elite educationist with us. They are going to give their views. And I would like to invite my first guest, and she is Professor Dr. Vinita Rai. Professor Dr. Vinita Rai is Registrar of School of Social Work, Roshni Nyalaya at Mangalore. Professor Dr. Rai is a national karate champion. She has put lots of efforts in popularizing waste management and creation of plastic-free surrounding, for which she got Republic Day Award for the leadership in anti-plastic Andolan. Professor Dr. Vinita Rai is a grassroots level worker for upliftment of women and children. Professor Dr. Vinita Rai had done a commendable job as NSS coordinator and Youth Red Cross Nodal Officer of Mangalore University for 5 years. She was declared Best NSS Program Officer of Karnataka. Her passion is to prepare youth for leadership. Welcome, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai on our show. Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, you being the registrar of a school of social work, Roshni Nyalaya, you have seen the last year when the classes were not held in person, rather they were online. Now for last 3 months or so, the classes have started functioning gradually, and students have started coming back to the classes. But again, we found the resurgence and that the new COVID variant has come back again with a more severity, because about 1.5 months back, about 45 days back, when there were only about 8 to 9,000 cases reported every day, now it is almost 48,000. So 6 times it has increased in 40 days time. So it is multiplying very, very fast. And our R value is also more than 1, rather 1.37 2 days back. So what, according to you, the COVID returns impact on students? Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, please.
Yes, this microscopic size organism has created havoc. We have seen all over the globe, or we can say across the globe, this unexpected guest has come. We need to get rid of this COVID. But the problem is that, first and foremost, the schools and colleges were closed down. And now again, we are hearing about semi lockdown or maybe lockdown according to the situation. What we have witnessed is that when the exams were postponed, routine was changed drastically. There were difficulties in organizing practical exams. There was difficulty in conducting field practicum, vivos, and all that. And after that, after about 5.5 months only, we were able to give them exam with all the precaution. And also, due to that situation, there were many students who were outside the state. For them, we could organize their exams in their own places. Outside the state, centers were created for the students. That really helped a lot to our students who could not come to Mangalore, and we could give them exams in their own city. Okay. So, but there was lot of uncertainty, and those who were here in Mangalore, for example, they wanted to go back to their houses, but it was not that easy for them to travel to their houses because parents were resisting. They were telling, no, you don't come, be there only. But here also, the authorities were saying like everything should be closed here. So there was lot of disturbance. With all that, finally students managed to go back to their houses. There was a struggle, and especially for those interstate students, traveling was very difficult, going back was very difficult, and also more than difficulty, it was very, very expensive also. And then because of that, the results were delayed. Students were, and the parents were also inquiring about that examination. They were only asking, when is the next exam, when is the exam, once the exams were over, when is the result. Like that, everything was delayed. Children were experiencing they missed the college or school. And the mentoring by the teachers also, students were missing. And the interaction or the socialization was missing. Even in many places, stepping out of the house was also not possible. So they were in the houses, so that some students could not digest that. There was too much of hampering on their extracurricular activities. Combined study was also disturbed, and they were missing their peer group. Quality of education got disturbed, and unstable financial conditions of their parents also affected them to pay the college fees or school fees, whatever. Overseas education got disturbed. And to quote, the school children who receive lunch in the afternoon, that also many children missed it, especially in the government schools, where otherwise they were provided lunch. Because of lockdown, that also was missing. And now we also see that lot of school dropouts are also there. Child laborers have come. All these have affected. So child marriages are taking place because of this situation. And during this time, I have also observed access to internet was not possible for all. And then there was a lot of gender gap also there. Connectivity problem was there with many students. Lack of technical knowledge also was another problem. But over the months, students tried to adjust and get along, and they could connect to the classes. And then sometimes we hear about how WhatsApp groups were misused, the numbers were easily available, so some girls face some problem, but not much. But here and there few cases we heard. Earlier we used to say no mobile to school, no mobile to college, like that. But now later the teacher was available in the mobile only, so that was the situation. And then later the admission started, the new admissions, everything was online to college. So they were not knowing their own teachers, they have not met them personally, they have not even met their classmates, everything was online. And also those who completed their graduation or post graduation, again for them the job opportunities were, there was low demand in the market, so even the job opportunities was very very less. So that way students really suffered a lot. Along with that we also find that health wise they also suffered a lot. One thing, this situation made them little lazy. They were within the house, sitting, listening to the class, eating, sleeping within the house, not much to do. So they became lazy, and also their health got affected due to lack of exposure to sunlight and all that. Many had this vitamin deficiency problem, overweight problem, then anxiety, depression, all this. Then addiction to mobile also, to a certain extent we can say addiction to mobile. That is especially now parents are saying it's not that easy to get rid of this mobile. Students are holding the mobile, whether it is their learning or what they are doing, parents are not in a position to understand. So this is the situation. And one more thing is the mental health situation also. Students were inside the house, they were craving to come out of their house, they just wanted to attend their classes, they wanted to meet their teachers, they wanted to share what is happening to them. Lot of restrictions were there at home, too much of control at home, all these were leading to mental health problems also.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Dr. Vinita, for giving your assessment about the COVID-19 and after effects of the COVID-19. And now, because the COVID returns, because the COVID again is coming, and she has mentioned how the students are facing problems, right? It's a whether it's a mental problem, physical problem. Even she mentioned about the midday meals. She also mentioned about the child marriages. So it is impacting the COVID for the last 1 year has impacted so badly, according to Professor Dr. Vinita, that and if now this return will come, definitely it is going to be a disaster for the students, especially for the students, because whatsoever they have done in the last 1 year, and according to Professor Dr. Vinita, even many students could not cope up with the studies because of the uh, uh, no internet, or internet that band was not proper, so they could not cope up with the classes. So many problems were there. And again, if it will be again the situation will be like this, then what is going to happen? Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Vinita, for giving us the assessment according to you about the this COVID returns. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite my next guest, and he is Dr. Manish Srivastav. Dr. Manish Srivastav is the Dean of R&D Research and Development, LNCT Group of Colleges, Bhopal. Dr. Srivastav holds a PhD and MTech degree from MANIT, Bhopal. He completed his bachelor's degree in computer technology from GEC, Bhopal. Dr. Manish research interest is network security. He has guided 3 PhDs and more than 40 MTech students in the field of computer science. He has 6 patents which are published in Patent Journal, and has published more than 100 research papers so far in various national, international journals and conferences. Dr. Manish, as the principal investigator, has completed AICTE MODROBS, MODROBS project of rupees 5 lakhs for the establishment of open source Linux Unix laboratory for the department. He is a senior member of CSI and is associated with other professional bodies including ISC, ISTE, IEEE. He is reviewer for many reputed international journals and conferences. Also, he has authored 3 books. He is on the editorial board. He is editorial board member for several national journals. He has 28 years of total work experience, 6 years as software engineer and 22 years as academician. Welcome, Dr. Manish Srivastav on our show. Dr. Manish Srivastav, you have heard what Professor Dr. Vinita Rai has mentioned about the problems which the students have already faced last year. And now, in the last 1 month or so, or 40 days, we have seen the resurgence of the COVID again. So we would like to know from you, COVID returns, impact on student. Dr. Manish Srivastav, please.
Yeah, thank you, Goel sir. First thing, very good morning to all other guests. And I would say, main concern with the return of COVID, I believe it is a carelessness of from both the ends, from our end and from the government's end. This is the main issue. So I do not think this is shutdown is the solution. This is no solution, because however we have learned things online very well in the last year, since 1990, 22019. We have learned many things. As you all are from these fields, you know that as far as online classes, as far as online platform like Zoom, Team, Microsoft Team, and many platforms we have. So we schools and colleges are using these platforms. So this could not be used. However, but shutdown is not the solution, and online class is not the solution is to precautionary measures, uh, use of precautionary measures very strictly. This is the solution. We should have isolation, we should have social distances, we should have wearing of mask. These things, if we could do these things properly in last before last lockdown, so this could not be faced. We have to face again almost lockdown as far as educational institute is concerned. So it is very serious problem, I believe, because in online classes there are many advantages, but disadvantage is that, like we have school director also with us. So she knows better कि student should come at least for 2 days a week, because students, small students has to students have to sit in the class. This is the main issue. How they can sit? Due to online class they could not sit. One thing. Second thing is that in online platform we are believing that students are connecting and our teacher is teaching. This is not so. Teacher is teaching, it is okay, but students are actively connected or not connected. This is the main issue. So we could not do anything in that. How many times you will make interaction with them? This is the thing. So if you make interactive session, it is okay, but it is not too easy. However, if we leave this thing interactive class, okay, then how student will attend the tutorial? This is the thing. So this is also main issue, how they can attend the tutorial. So these are the issues, and we are facing this problem in online education. This is the main concern. And as far as college student is concerned, we belongs to the number one college of MP, or Central India LNCT College. So in our college, we are also facing the problem as far as examination is concerned. So how can examination can be conducted? This is the thing. University is going to say open book exam, but how it is, I should not say this thing, but exams are not serious. Students are almost submitting the sessional, and student is free to use any medium. It is very interesting thing happened with me with one of the student. I did ask him, what is your, how is your preparation? Usually I ask a student when student meet at the time of examination. I did ask, what's going on, how you are studying. So usually student in early years, before COVID, student says, sir, it is okay, this is the problem. So I help them out. This is the thing. But recently I did ask a student, how is your preparation? A student said, sir, we have made a WhatsApp group for cheating. This is the thing. So how we can avoid these things? This is the thing. Now I stopped asking a student, what is your preparation? So this is a system. A student is making their own ways to to accomplish their task of examination, giving examination. We could not do anything. We do not have softwares who can which can manage a proper exam. This is the thing. So main issue with COVID return is that we have to, I would say, we have to measure precautionary measure. Shutdown is not the solution. We have to wear the mask. We have to make the social distance. If we do that, only 10%. I have seen one statistics. So only 10% COVID effect will remain. This is the thing. So I could say many things, but I do not know how much time do I have.
No, you still have time. You can speak for 5 minutes more.
Okay, right, sir, right, well, sir. So main issue is that we should not impose the shutdown. We should not, from both the end, from our end and from the government's end, from all the stakeholders' end, we should not, we should avoid shutdown. Or if we avoid the shutdown, there is only one solution, that we should use precautionary measures very properly. If we able to do that, because we are almost at any level, employees, as far as businessmen is concerned, it is different thing. But as far as employment is concerned, in our country, employment, every employee is almost hand to mouth at any level, because employee or a person makes his expenses according to his earning. This is the thing. So if his earning affects at any level of the employee, चाहे फर्स्ट क्लास एम्प्लॉय हो, चाहे थर्ड क्लास का कैटेगरी को बिलोंग करता हो, क्लास 1 एम्प्लॉय, क्लास 2 एम्प्लॉय, क्लास 3 एम्प्लॉय, every employee, even in private sectors, they have made their expenses according to their earnings. If their earning affects, their expenses will be affected. This is the thing. So we could not say that higher class or middle class or lower class, only lower class will be affected. As far as employment is concerned, all will be affected. This is the thing. So we should avoid the shutdown in anyhow. Government should also think that we do not make any careless things, like we have made these things in last few months. If we could not do that, so this is the thing. So Mr. Goel, you
Okay.
have made a very
Oh,
interesting
oh,
topic,
oh,
that is return of COVID-19 as far as a student is concerned.
yeah.
So, well, I should give more
Oh,
chance.
okay. Thank you very much,
Right.
Dr. Manish Srivastav. I will come back to you. As Dr. Manish Srivastav said that the lockdown is not the solution, because he says that whatsoever has happened in the last 1 year is definitely could have been avoided now, because we have become very careless. We have not keeping the social distancing. If we would have adhered to the social distancing, wearing the mask, then this return, COVID return would have not been there. But I would like to just add, Dr. Srivastav, in UK, almost when they have the lockdown and once they start opening it, again, when this UK variant came, they have put the entire UK for from now almost 3 months, that is from December, the entire UK is under lockdown, and they could contain the virus drastically, which has reached far more. Now they have they have curtailed it, but still in the lockdown. And as far as you have mentioned about the unemployment and about the employees thing, in UK, they are giving 80% of the salary of all those, even the private employees who are not being given, or those who are not working. So many organizations which can't work, like the educational institutions, apart from those who are doing the online imparting the online education, those employees who have no other work, those who are in the other jobs, in the administrative jobs and others, they are getting 80% salary from the UK government. I am sure the educational institutions in India must ask this type of package, then only they can sustain. Otherwise, I have just come through a report where one of the owner of a private institution mentioned very clearly. He said that now we have asked the students to purchase the books, etc. They have purchased the books, and now suddenly again the lockdown, because from 24, that is from today in UP, there no school and institutions will work up to 31st of March, which is bound to be extended. So what is going to happen to those guardians, to those students, those who have spent the money for the books and copies, and for they have given the few of them given the fees for the in-person classes? They are in lurch. So that is a very important. But anyways, thank you very much, Dr. Manish Srivastava, for giving your views. Now I would like to invite, I am just seeing that I think Colonel is there. Are you there, Colonel? Please unmute yourself and start your video. Colonel Professor Dr. Subramanian Ramanayar, are you there? No, I think he has joined, but he's not yet connected properly. So I would like to go to my next.
Good morning, doctor.
Yeah, you are there. So please switch on your video, please.
Okay.
Please switch on your video. Yes, yes, Colonel.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Colonel
So,
Goel.
Colonel, you have joined now, so you
Very
have not heard what has happened earlier, and I think you are traveling. So I have to, because it's a live telecast, and we want that if it is possible, please park the car somewhere so that our viewers can see your face and hear properly. It's a live telecast on the many channels. Is it possible, Colonel? Because your network is also very low. Bandwidth is very low. I think we have lost your connection, Colonel. Are you there? No.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. You are there?
Fine. Very happy. And as soon as you say my thought is now, I can.
No, your turn is there right now.
Hear you properly. I'm sure
Can I take?
Audible?
Yeah,
Sorry?
you are audible, but you are not visible properly. If you can, is it possible to park the car somewhere, Colonel?
Am I okay now? Am I okay now, sir?
You are okay. Okay. Turn your mobile in a horizontal position. Yes, turn your mobile horizontal. Just turn the mobile in a horizontal position. Is it possible for you?
Sir, what?
Turn your mobile instead
Sir,
of.
now I'm.
Just turn it horizontal instead of vertical. No. Colonel, I think we will take you once your connection is proper.
Yeah,
and you.
Okay. Yes.
No, we can't. Yeah, now it is okay. Is it okay? Now, Colonel, I would like to just introduce about you. Then we will come. I will come back to you. Now, I would like to invite my next guest, and he's already there. He's Colonel Professor Dr. Subramanian Raman Iyer. Colonel Iyer is the Vice Chancellor of Indus International University, Bathu, Una, Himachal Pradesh. He is PG Diploma in Personal Management from NIPM Kolkata, LLB from Delhi University, MBA from IIT Kharagpur, Master of Business Law from NLSU Bangalore, and MPhil from Madras University. His PhD research on retention of mining professionals in Indian mining industry is a subject that evokes great interest by academia, industry, and government. He was conferred doctorate in management of Indian Institute in management by Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur for a pioneering research work in Indian mining locations. He served as managing director of CSCD India till July 2018. Earlier served with GSFC Limited, Vadodara as senior vice president with rich corporate experience in HR, contract employment, administration, corporate communication, and security. Later, he served as director, corporate affairs of GSFC University. Also, as chairman of CSR, he steered the company to excellence and towards winning the National Golden Peacock Award for Excellence in CSR. As selection grade colonel, he served as instructor, Defense Services Staff College, Wellington, teaching management subjects to Indian and international students. He held the prestigious appointments of commanding officer of an infantry battalion, colonel general staff, deputy brigade commander, second in command of Rashtriya Rifles battalion in J&K, and assistant director HR in the army headquarters. He headed Human Resource Development Center in Assam, Rajasthan, J&K, Kargil, and Ladakh. He is having 30 years of quality academic army experience, 6 years of industrial experience apart from the present academic experience. He has published 15 papers in reputed national and international journal. Welcome, Colonel Iyer, on our show. Colonel Professor Dr. Subramanian Raman Iyer, because you could not join earlier because you are busy and you are traveling right now. What Professor Dr. Vinita Rai as well as Dr. Manish Srivastav both are of the views that the COVID-19 has impacted the students very badly, all the educational institutions very badly, and unless the government will not think seriously, it is going to impact again, because now COVID has again coming back in a very big way. And if we have to see that the impact of the this COVID returns should not be there on the students, then the government has to take some drastic steps. According to Dr. Manish Srivastav, he is against the lockdown, but he says strictly the social distancing and the wearing the mask and hand sanitization has to be compulsorily to be followed. Now, we would like to know from you the COVID returns impact on students. Colonel Professor Dr. Subramanian Raman Iyer, please.
Okay.
Colonel, yes, please go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Goel. Thank you very much. Thanks for your elaborate introduction. Let me tell you, prior to COVID, our emphasis was on a lot of value-added learning through online resources. So I was rather overemphasizing on the National Digital Library, on the mass open learning programs, Coursera, Udacity, whatnot. But then I realized COVID gave a natural opportunity to go for the online, not only for the university-related education and school-related education, but also to borrow such knowledge from. So I like to tell you that COVID has opened a new opportunity to learn
I think
more than the classroom teaching. But definitely the classroom teaching got affected. There is
no, Colonel Iyer, I'm so
seeing on that to the classroom teaching, especially call it some engineering subjects, humanities subjects. Are you hearing me? Am I audible?
See, you are audible, but meanwhile, yes, but sometimes it goes off. So, is it possible to park the car?
Vinita, are you hearing me?
I can hear you, but can you just park the car for 5 minutes, speak, and then you can again start traveling? Is it possible, Colonel? Just park the car somewhere, and then you speak, and then you can start again. Because,
hello?
Colonel, when you are moving, your
okay now.
Yeah, you have to park the car somewhere,
Yeah,
Colonel. Yeah, then only.
I think I'm okay now. Am I okay?
Okay, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
So COVID
No, sorry, Colonel. No, it's not possible. It's a live telecast. I will request you just to park the car where your net is proper. Then we will take you again because it is not possible to continue without hearing anything, and viewers will be very much perturbed because they are not hearing anything. Anyway, so now I would like to move to my next guest, and she is Miss Parul Jindal. Miss Parul Jindal is the director of Narayani International School. She is the member of Advisory Forum Aligarh Smart City Aligarh. She is an inspired social worker. She is serving in educational field for the last 14 years. She is pursuing PhD in mathematics. She is a nominated member of Aligarh Smart City Advisory Forum. On the occasion of UP Day, she is felicitated with an award by Government of UP for her contribution in the field of education. Welcome, Ms. Parul Jindal on our show. Ms. Parul Jindal, you have heard what Professor Dr. Vinita Rai as well as Dr. Manish Srivastav has mentioned. Colonel Rai's voice was not that clear, so we could not take it rightly, but once he will speak. So now you are running a international school. And now where I am sure the school where the children's small children's up to 10th standard or 12th standards are coming to a school. During the last 1 year, because of the COVID-19, all schools were closed. Then again, they were started somewhere, I think from 2021, January or so, which you will. And now, again, from today, that is 24th March, UP government has closed all the educational institutions. Now, we would like to know from you the COVID returns, impact on students. Ms. Parul Jindal, please.
Thank you, Mr. Lal, for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to be a part of this show. Now, contrary to the hope that schools resume their normal functioning with dwindling of COVID-19, there is a blight on them with reports of steady increase in cases. India has already become the world's third worst affected country in terms of daily cases. All the more worrying factor is COVID's changing its character. Completely asymptomatic cases initially could turn very fast into high oxygen dependence. Nobody can take risk by pushing their children to school classes in such a scenario. The impact is obvious. The school has a limited scope to run the system on the old pattern. The new pattern are online classes. They have been adopted universally, but social consequences have yet to be studied and concluded. There is, of course, no alternative. You have got to engage your pupil electronically, willy-nilly. Now comes to the quality. Personal interaction between the children and the teacher is almost nil. Spontaneous reaction, admonition, or inspirational remarks could hardly be measured by the teacher. Yet there are very many subject-wise and grade-wise computer programs in market. This goes to show that technology is coping with the changing time. Schools are making their best possible use to engage the students in learning process. Evaluation and results making is also undergoing change. Somehow, change has not only become necessary but also fast. If the change spoils campus presence of boys, there is going to be unpredictable change in society. We are not leaning towards online system. We are bound to lean on artificial intelligence, which is making rapid strides in resolution of a variety of complex problems. We have taken to online system in response to the unforeseen situation caused by COVID, and we may have introduced loud sourcing technique from primary level to respond to the need of time and ultimately taking to the course of education which the student world over might be following to chart destiny of humankind. COVID seems to have laid foundation of drastic change in our future sociological order. Here, one more thing, like, our teachers has done very, they have they have done they are doing very good. They have learned technologies like Zoom. They don't know how to work on Zoom. They follow and they adopt these things, and after that they teach the children. So the thing is this, in COVID-19, we learned so many things, teacher learned so many things, student learned so many things, and even parents cooperate them. Most of the parents cooperate them. Most of them, they don't want online class. Online class is not an option, but we have to adopt it. This is our, ये हमारी एक मजबूरी है कि हमें अडॉप्ट करना पड़ा. That's it. And Mr. Lal, you told us previously that today's 24th March is a World Tuberculosis Day. So today being 24th March which is World Tuberculosis Day. This day is spread for awareness among people to show how public will be able to get rid of this disease. You told us, I think 10 billion died in a year.
No, not 10 billion. I said 10 million.
10 million, okay. Okay, 10 million died
in the world. And you will be surprised to know 27% of the tuberculosis patients in the world belongs to India. Our record is very bad. 27% of the world tuberculosis patients are in India only, because we are not serious about the tuberculosis. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. We are not serious about the tuberculosis. So we all have to be serious. Today I adopt 50 children of tuberculosis children. I adopt and I will take care of them. So I will. Yes, sir. You want to say something?
No. You say, then I will tell you.
Okay. Today I adopt 50 children of tuberculosis and I will take care of them. So I request you, all the people, please adopt at least one children, so that the 27%, you told 27% in India, 20% tuberculosis is there, so that we can eradicate it from the India, at least, like polio. And government have so many policies over there and they can work, but we have to, हाथ में हाथ मिलाकर गवर्नमेंट के चलना होगा और उसे आगे बढ़कर हम लोगों को काम करना होगा. अगर हम लोग मिलकर काम करेंगे, then we have to eradicate it, like polio. Have you heard about polio?
Okay. Ms. Parol, your views are very good, and I must congratulate that you have adopted 50 children. But I would like to tell you one thing, that because my father was one of the foremost tuberculosis surgeon in India, late Dr. Gyanendra Goel, and he used to tell us, and I used to stay in a tuberculosis hostel, TB hostel compound for 30 years of my early agehood. And I know that how infectious disease is, and we were not allowed to go to the hostel side at all. But it was taken very lightly by the government from the very beginning. Until unless, like we have this COVID social distancing and whatnot, if anybody is detected with a tuberculosis, social distancing has to be kept, and it has to be seen that no person should interact directly, touching or coming into direct contact. Try to put in a sanatorium, TB sanatorium, isolate them. Only then the TB can be eradicated in India. Otherwise, with the domiciliary treatment which is going on, it is not possible. Because this is a vast subject, we will discuss sometime again. I would love to discuss about the TB, because the number of patients are dying more than 4 lakhs in a year by the tuberculosis, while the COVID, we lost only 1,60,000 as of yesterday, till yesterday. So one can imagine that tuberculosis is more deadly disease than the COVID, but we are not bothered, because to be very frank, tuberculosis belongs to those strata of persons who are not so rich. Thank you very much, Ms. Parol, for giving your views. Now I would like to invite my next guest, and he is, I think Colonel has again gone. He is Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha. Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha is the civil service coach. He is the managing director of Discourse Academy, Delhi. He motivates and gives interviews, guidance to UPSC aspirants. He is visiting faculty of political science, general studies, and English languages at different reputed institutes. He is doing talk shows for All India Radio, Akashwani, New Delhi. He is called upon by various media organizations to participate as an expert for their live shows on various national and international issues. He conducted and moderated several seminars, including National Seminar in the World Book Fair 2016, New Delhi, by National Book Trust, Government of India. He has published several books and written articles in reputed publication. He is co-author of India-Mauritius Bilateral Relationship Recent Initiative. Welcome, Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha on our show. Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha, you have heard what Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, Dr. Manish Srivastav, and Ms. Parul Jindal has explained about the COVID returns impact on students. And because you appeared on my show in many times, and we have discussed about the impact of COVID-19 at that time also. But now, because of the resurgence, because the students who were there, as Dr. Vinita Rai has mentioned, that the students are fed up staying at home. They wanted to come to the schools, colleges, or institutes. They want to interact with the other students, interact with the teachers. But they have started coming in last 1 or 2 months, but again, now in Delhi also the institutions have been closed. Many of the state government have already issued the circulars, and few are going to follow now. So when this is the situation, when almost 1 year is almost passed, because if I am not mistaken, the first Janta curfew was on 22nd March, and the national curfew was imposed from 24th night, that is today's night only, last year. And from 25th, it was totally under the lockdown. So when this was the situation, then the students are suffering for last 1 year. And again, if the same thing is repeating, the history is repeating, the COVID returns is there, then what will be the situation of the students? So COVID returns impact on students. Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha, please.
Yeah, good morning to Mr. Goel and good morning to Binita ma'am, Parul Jindal ma'am, and all the other panelists, Manish ji and Sulmandam sir. Very good morning, and I must say that who cares COVID? Because we should have optimistic life, because as most of the doctors are saying that this is not the second variant, maybe the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, maybe so many variants will be coming, and that's the real situation in the today's world. And because what is the problem, that all of us know that how these Chinese things have happened, that is in the past now. But I think the solution we have to discuss, that what kind of solution we can put before the people, particularly the budding youth of this country. And I must take an inspiration from the Newton also. When this London was very much plagued in those days, Newton, great scientist Newton, was forced to leave London in those days, and he was kept in a house and he became a scientist. I must quote one thing, because this COVID also gives a good opportunity for the students and the intellectuals also to go for good kinds of books, to research the things, and a lot of things can be done. I am talking about the higher education, and particularly for all kinds of examinations throughout the country. As far as school education is concerned, as Parul ma'am has said, and Binita ma'am, definitely they have widely and adversely affected by the things and all. But one, again, the solution is that the traditional way of knowledge, because Mr. Goel, I would like to say that in the ancient day, in the ancient period, what happened, that the students sit behind the things and open sky kinds of thing under the tree, I can see. So why not to have alternative day of education, maybe after 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and the students can, particularly the 6, 7 year students, they can sit under the tree and they can teach, the students can teach. It depends upon the climate zones of the different parts of the country. But yes, definitely that can be done also. Second thing, that online is very much important of the days, because that we cannot say that without this we cannot go for the exams, we cannot impart, and ideally a lot of things and there and constraints are there that already all panelists have discussed. But we have to go for the solution part. Yes, definitely, as we are also imparting the students, and the beauty of the online education is that a lot of the students are taking good advantage. And even you can say that at a higher level, the GRE exam and the TOEFL exams, a lot of exams, previous days also it was on kind of online things. So definitely the youth, as we cater the maximum number of youth in this country, so they can adapt, and slowly, steadily they can adapting, and everything is happening around us. So it is a good sign as far as government norms are concerned. Because one more thing that I want to say, that the governments are, the clueless. Because this is a kind of thing that the scientists are even clueless. The vaccinations are there, everything is there. But as far as a social civil society, as far as the gentry class of the society, or the well informed people, what we can do for the better, then definitely that we have to look after. Because government, even today the government is saying that it will be beyond our hand, because we do not have the infrastructure, we do not have a kind of hospitals, or the, I mean, a lot of things are there, constraints are there because of the economic conditions. And that's, as far as you have rightly said, in the European countries, or in the British, or Americans, or some of the other countries, they are paying 80% or 60%, 70%. But that in our country, where even the teachers, I am very much sad to know that most of the teachers are not being paid in the Bihar, and some am asking money for their near and dear the teachers. So what talks about the unpaid people who are the daily laborers or the labor? So most of the people are dying because of the money, because of their survival. And that's widely, as Manish Srivastava has already said it. So definitely it is a great challenge before all of us, and humanity is dying above all. Because you could have seen the challenges that a lot of people had migrated from Delhi or Mumbai or Bangalore, and people were going to different part of the country, rural areas and the downside of the country. So they have, yes, their economy have badly impacted. And one more thing that is also good in this time, that the rural areas, still the rural areas are not that much of affected. But yes, definitely the doctors have said this time the rural areas would be more affected, as doctors are, experts are saying that. Dr. KK Agwal, I was listening one of his talk shows. So definitely the rural areas. But as far economy is concerned, because their economy is very little, very kinds of things, so they are okay kinds of things in these precarious situations also. So moreover, I can say that we should concentrate on the solution, because the problems are there, and it can maybe like one more year, 2 more years, and the next variant would call, like the SARS would come. Different kinds of variants are coming. We should also focus on the research, that why these variants are coming. I am not the technical expert, but as an intellectual, I can say the bats, like chamgadar, what kinds of things this chamgadar is producing, bat is producing. So that is also one of the areas where technical experts and our scientists have to work. And I can assure you that sooner or later, because the humanity and mankind have seen such a kinds of things, as you have said, the polio, or the, I mean, TB and the plague. I mean, a lot of things have happened over a period. So definitely, but as Parul ma'am has said, that definitely we should adopt some people, as we should give some food, books, or any kinds of thing to the needy people, so that the humanity will be elected as an human being in the society. Because after all, why society, why us, why TV channels, why these all things? It is between the I mean, teamwork. Together we have to find, together we have to find the solution. Together we can rise up, together we can fall. So definitely that human kindship. I must quote one thing, that the Mother Teresa, I had written one book, the story book, in which I had taken Mother Teresa, Steve Jobs, I mean Stephen Hawkins, Dr. Kalam. So I mean to say that how Mother Teresa, one person, really changed the perceptions. What is the service? The inspiration of service we can take from that departed soul also. And how Dr. Kalam had did this thing. So I mean to say that these all things can jointly we can do the things, and definitely we are doing little things. And even the Kailash Satyarthi started kinds of things, and no, there was not a COVID. So before COVID, it was the same challenge, a lot of challenge. So technically, because we are handicapped, Mr. Goel, because of technical things. Otherwise, I can go out. I say my wife, no, I have to go out to the different places, seminars, talk shows here and there. She says, no, 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 don't go, don't go. But I can assure you that sometimes we go and then we come with this psycho fearness. Okay, maybe because of COVID kinds of things. So a lot of things are there. So definitely we all together put an, and as you have done a tremendous and a lot of series on the COVID kinds of things. So it is also very good thing that the people will get awareness, and we have to know that the hand wash is there. I mean, primary things are there, so that we have to know. And again, I have to quote our ancestor values, that how they learned and they taught us that before eating, before doing any kinds of things, that we have to wash your hands. So these all small steps should be taken. But once again, that since it is clueless things, doctors have no any kinds of medication, so prevention is better than cure. And I hope that after 6 months or maybe 1 year, we will be very very in the comfortable position, and we will also enjoy the same thing that previously we had enjoyed. So this is all kinds of things that I have to say. And don't go for the rumors. Don't think like anything is happening in Punjab, so maybe it will again in Delhi or in Karnataka, in other parts and all. Yeah, few things are there, the temporarily things are there. And as far as depressions are concerned, motivation, I mean, as ma'am, Binita ma'am was saying, the depressions, frustrations, I mean, the stripes and all these things are there. So we should enjoy the family things, we should discuss, and we should all these things. And theoretically it is okay, but practically, that is the problem. So this is from my side, sir. And I mean,
Okay.
in a nutshell, I can say that in a nutshell that हमें हमें इस बात को लेके आशंकित नहीं होना है. I am a philosophical man. I said, who cares what will happen tomorrow, even before the COVID and even today. I am here. I will be remain as a soul here. Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Rakesh Kumar Jha, for giving your philosophical views. And he says that we must not care, and we must do the things, and we will see that that in 6 months or 1 year again we will come back. Although this particular sentence I am listening for last 1 year from my different panelists, every time they says, but next year we will all be okay. We hope that we should be okay, but conditions, as we all know what is the condition, and we should not go away from the reality. This is not the rumors, these are the figures, facts and figures given by the governments, the state governments, etc. But anyway, now I will just see if the Colonel is there now. Colonel, are you there? Colonel, can you just switch on your video if you are there and unmute yourself? No, Colonel, you are not there. Okay. So now my question goes to, first I am going to ask Dr. Manish Srivastav. Dr. Manish Srivastav, you said no lockdown. Fine. Then what is the solution? Why not government declare this year as a 0 year for the education? After all, 70% of the students are in the rural area, and everybody knows the condition of internet. We have just seen how the colonel who is on the road Himachal Pradesh, he could not connect properly because of the internet. And I am seeing this, observing for last 1 year during my all these media conferences. When this is the situation, those 60 to 70% students who could not cope up with your education, proper education, it means now only the 30 or 40% students could get the education which they wanted. Otherwise, others have not got it. Then why not declare a 0 year and see to it that proper infrastructure is in place? Then only go for online. We talk about USA, we talk about UK. See their infrastructure. They see the internet. See the money they are paying. Are we paying any money? No. Then why you can insist the students to come and join online? One smartphone is costing, if there is 2 or 3 students in a house and the father or mother, if they are also working, how we expect them to have so much heavy duty broadband or so many smartphones and so much internet connectivity to pay that much? Dr. Manish Srivastav, please.
Well, Goel sir, I am having a different opinion in that context. As I already told you, there is a trade-off between our economy and shutdown. This is the thing. So, as far as a precautionary measure, we impose the shutdown. This is the thing. So, if we impose the shutdown, our pupils' economy or budget will be disturbed. We have all seen these things. So we are the country. We are almost hand to mouth, as I have told you that we could not cope up with the economy, or we could not cope up with the budget, because this is the thing. And many people, many employees or employment, uh, those who are involved in the employment work or service work, they understand this saving is very significant. This is the thing. But unfortunately, suddenly things had happened since 19 to 2019. So this is the thing. So that time one could not understand the things, or this is the thing. So however, I believe I may be wrong. Shutdown is the solution, better solution. But as far as employed person's budget is concerned, this cannot be corrected, because our employer or our government could not understand this thing. Because the middle class persons have to pay fee for their children, and they are paying fee. This it doesn't matter they are getting or not getting, but they are paying their full fee. This is the thing. We have with us Ms. Parul and Vinita madam. They know better. So this is the thing. So I believe if we solution can be of two things. Like we must consider online as well as offline. We should start 2 days, at least 2 days, so that a student come. As far as small student, little students are concerned, they will sit how to sit in the class, because they do not know how to sit in the class. They started their journey, and they had to be online, or they have to be online. This is the thing. So when they come in the school, they will sit how to sit in the class, because they could not sit in the class. If at the starting of their age, they have to face this thing online.
Okay.
Secondly, if we make two things simultaneously, online and offline, it will be better. You can teach online, and you can take a tutorial offline. You can take practical offline. So we have to make solution. I believe Dr. Rakesh Jha solution that we must have below the tree, we must take classes. This is the thing. So this is the better place, but everywhere it could not be possible. But wherever it is possible, it is the good solution, because in Alien City we have classes with which can occupy 60 students. So if 60 or 50 comes, then we could not make the social distancing. This is the thing. So this we are having open space in Alien City. So various places this can be a solution.
Yes, Dr. Srivastava, you are right. But cities like Mumbai, where they don't have the place, they cannot have such type of liberty to have under the trees. Thank you very much, Dr. Srivastava. Now, my question to Dr. Vinita Rai, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai. You mentioned about the mental health of students. What about the mental health of the teachers? Because many of the institutions, in UP, more than 85-90% institutions belongs to the private. The education system in UP is like this. Now, they are not able to pay the salaries of the teachers. They are not giving, once the teacher is not getting the salary, how we expect that they will give the quality education to the student? So don't you think the government should take initiative by providing free internet to all the students, the teachers, as well as some salary, because they are not coming either in MSME, they are not coming under the migrant laborers. The teachers is a class which is not in any of those category. So they are not getting any that type of benefit which they are supposed to get. After all, they are creating those doctors, scientists, whom we are relying today. What Mr. Jha was saying, our scientists will do. From where the scientists will come, where the doctors will come, if we don't have the proper teachers today, if we are not taking their conditions, they're taking care of them. So what you say in this condition, if suppose although God forbids, but what is written in the wall, we can very well see. If again 1 year will go like this, like what we have in 2020, how the teachers, how the students will sustain themselves, and the teachers and the institutions will sustain themselves, then what is going to happen? And what is the solution? Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, please.
Yes. Thank you for remembering the teachers. Many a times we were talking about the migrant laborers and all that. Fine, we need to take care of them. But many times we felt that teachers were missed in this list because everybody thought teachers are paid well and teachers, like they can't beg nor they can steal. They are in such a condition. But there are also teachers of different kinds. Some maybe are working in the university, some maybe are government full-time teachers, some may be in the private colleges, under aided colleges. They may be getting their salary. The concern is for those who are in the private sector or in the government sector who have not yet become permanent teachers. That is a great concern. They were not paid. They can't even ask others because of their designation. People would laugh at them. What is this teacher is asking for? Whereas a migrant laborer, everywhere we used to see, we used to support. But now we realize that we need to support each other. At least we as teachers movement, we need to come together again now, and how we can support them. But for the last few months we have seen those stopgap lecturers also were brought back to the colleges and they started earning something. But again, if there is lockdown or something, I think we need to, as a union, teachers union, we have unions, we fight for so many things. So in the same way, we should come together. We must do some work so that those teachers are also protected. They also will have a decent living for them.
Okay, thank you, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, for giving your views. Now, my question goes to Ms. Parul Jindal. Ms. Parul Jindal, you being the director of an international school, it means that school belongs to you. You are one of the owner of the school. Now, we can understand the situation that this last 1 year, the situation faced by the private institutes, because many of you have paid either 50% or the full salaries for the teachers, and with the hope that the COVID will go. And we were seeing in last, say from October, November onwards, we were seeing that the COVID is going. So the institute owners were happy that, okay, now everything will be okay. And the students were also very apprehensive, okay, now everything will be fine. So they were, everyone was of this hope that by March, everything will be okay. But the March brought a very bad news again, that again, COVID is returning. Now, in this situation, to run the institution for next 1 year in the same situation, what we have seen in 2020, what is going to happen to the private institutions in general? Ms. Parul Jindal, please.
Thank you, sir. Actually, we have an idea. Right now, हम लोग starting में मार्च में जब हमारे साथ ये हुआ था, लॉकडाउन पीरियड हुआ था, then we don't have any idea about lockdown, and हमारी classes start होने थे from 6th April.
One moment, I will just mute Colonel, because there is a disturb. Yes, please go ahead.
हम लोग की क्लासेस स्टार्ट होने थे लास्ट ईयर 2020 में from 6th April, but we don't know how we have to start the school and how we have to start the classes. Pre-primary to up to 10th, we don't know anything कि किस तरह से हमें करना है. But from 6th April, we started our classes on Zoom. Then after 1 week, we had a PTM, parents teacher interaction meeting on Zoom, and asked to the parents, should we continue it or we have to stop it over here? The nursery parents said, ma'am, there is a schedule of the children, and मतलब morning में वो आते हैं, नहाकर बैठ जाते हैं कि हमारी मैम आएंगी. मतलब they was very happy, they felt very happy, and they said कि ma'am, please continue it. Out of 100 children in nursery, 80% students attend the class. and they continue it, 80 students. तो वो हम लोगों के लिए, टीचर्स के लिए एक नया मुकाम था कि किस तरह से हमें करना है. दे डोंट नो द टेक्नोलॉजी, दे ऑल लर्न द टेक्नोलॉजी. एंड अब अगर होता है तो वी ऑल आर रेडी फॉर दैट. हम सारे स्कूल्स रेडी हैं, टीचर्स रेडी हैं. एक वो फेज था जब आप सोचिए टीचर भी घर में है, उसे खाना भी बनाना है, बच्चे भी देखने, उधर उसका हस्बैंड भी है. मतलब इट्स अ क्वाइट डिफिकल्ट टाइम फॉर द टीचर्स ऑल्सो. एक चीज और मैं कहना चाहूंगी, अभी आई थिंक विनीता जी या राकेश जी ने कहा था, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर, कि वैक्सीन के लिए अकॉर्डिंग टू द एज जो चल रही है उसमें टीचर्स आर ऑल्सो कोरोना वॉरियर्स, बट टीचर्स को वैक्सीन नहीं लग रही. इन अलीगढ़ ओनली 45 प्लस.
Miss Parul, I will just interact. You are talking about teachers. The LPG gas delivery persons, delivery men of the, they are not been vaccinated. They are coming to everybody's. They are going to everybody's house. Okay, and if they are not on priority, the teachers are on the least priority. So there is a priority list. We have to wait. We can't go for this. Okay, so thank you. But only one point which I am going to now ask Mr. Rakesh. Thank you very much, Ms. Parul, for giving. Mr. Rakesh, what Ms. Parul has mentioned, because she is running a international school, I am sure she is having a rich class students, not from the rural areas, not the poor class. Now, don't you think, as you said, we can do the online and whatnot and wherever possible, why not we segregate two types of we start two types of education, one online for those who can afford, those who have the proper infrastructure, and the secondly in the villages or the rural area where you rightly said that COVID has not yet impacted. There we have a space, open space, where we can hold the school or colleges in open area where we can give the in-person the education. But those who can join online, there should be an option that if you want to join online, it will be in the city on the online if you can afford. Otherwise, go to a rural area where there is chances of COVID is far less. Social distancing is possible. As Dr. Srivastava said, it's not possible to have social distancing with 50 or 60 students in a one class. But there, when you can organize the in the field or something, do you think is it possible in India with such type of weather? It's raining sometimes, it's hot sometimes. Is it, or we should say that 60-70% students forget about studies? We are only talking to those 30 affluent class students who can pay the money fees and who have the proper infrastructure. We are only interested on those 30% high-ended students. We are not bothered for 60-70%. Let the few, whatsoever the fate they have to they have to face, let them face. What you say about Mr. Rakesh? I am asking this question especially because you comes from a state which is called Bihar, and I have done a program in Bihar. I know the economic condition of Bihar. That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, good to know, because Bihar comes under Bimaru Ras, and definitely the education and literacy rate is very less, and that depends upon the social strata condition. But I must remember you that education is also one of the luxuries, and that was the point that even in the old age, ancient में राजा का बेटा ज्यादा पढ़ता था, बाकी लोग कम पढ़ते थे. That was even the previous and ancestral period that was there. And after the independence, after 1947, it is clearly and categorically written in the state directive principle that is known as Rajya के नीति निर्देशक सिद्धांत, and the education should be provided to every citizen of this country, because this should not belong to a particular domain or a class. And that's the challenge, and that is the challenge across the world, not only in India, even across the world. And that is why UNESCO, UNO, all people and all organizations are supporting to uplift the education level. Yes, definitely, Mr. Goel, because there is a difference between education and quality education, because literacy can be given to anyone, and that literacy can be provided, and that's the main target. Even in the United States of America, up to 12th level, anyone can go for free education, but after 12th there are lots of if and buts that the governments and the private institutions are there. So the money is one of the important tools for the higher education, apart from the intellectual capacity. Even in India's IITs and IIM, a lot of things are required to compete with. And there are some examples like the Mr. Anand Kumar is imparting some of the poor students, and that depends upon the socio-economic condition. And definitely I can say you that there are some sort of I mean pattern, the first pattern, second pattern, third pattern, like in rural areas. I can must quote you that even in today's era, the students are studying under the tree in Bihar. Now buildings are being erected. That's different story after the funds and Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan. Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan has a kind of ruined the education system at the grassroots level. Definitely the buildings are very high, erected being tall buildings, but the quality education has totally lost. In
Okay.
what the school I studied in 1925, that Watson school, now it is totally lost. So it is the real challenge before you, before the government. And third thing, what is the solution? The government should give like.
I'm coming to that point next in my next round, Mr. Jha. So, Mr. Jha, but one thing is very clear, as all of you have mentioned about the money, that the government doesn't have money. I don't. I'm not agreeing with this. You see, we are organizing all top programs. Government is organizing. We just recently held a Kumbh Mela at Vrindavan in a very, very lavish way. After all, the money has been spent. The money has been spent on yesterday or day before yesterday. There was a Latmar Holi in Valsana. Lots of people were there. No social distancing. No face mask. So we are not serious for the new generation, for the students, or we are carefree. We don't know. Anyway, now I'm coming to again to Dr. Vinita Rai. Dr. Vinita Rai, just in 30 seconds, your any advice or to the any suggestion to the government and advice to the public?
Okay, my general advice to the public is please follow the protocol. Wear the mask, hand hygiene, social distancing is a must. These things we should remember, no excuse.
Okay,
And
thank
my
you.
suggestion, my request to the government is wherever this is violated, fine them. Fine them. That's the only way. Give publicity. That is what is happening in our district. DC himself has gone into the buses. He saw them without mask. He fined them. 4 shops were closed. Now, suddenly, yesterday, we could see the change. In the bus, people are wearing masks. Things are changing.
Okay.
Such kind of officials.
Thank you very much. Yes, Dr. Manish Srivastav, your suggestion and advice.
Sir, my suggestion, as Vinita madam told, this is my suggestion, but one moreover, I would add one thing that I usually I should not say about the government and media, but I should say government should not unfair with the school education, college education, and other things, because any time school and college education is considered for the shutdown. This is the thing. This is not the thing, because students are having good immunity as far as others are concerned, because they have students could not be affected usually.
Okay.
This is the thing.
Okay. Thank you, Dr.
Right.
Srivastav. Miss Parul Jindal, please. Please unmute. Yeah. Please unmute.
Yes, sir.
Your suggestion and advice.
My advice is only that हमें कोरोना से डरना नहीं, लड़ना है, and take precaution. After getting vaccinated, actually people think we are getting vaccination and अब हमें कुछ नहीं होगा. After getting vaccination, we have to take precautions, sanitize, social distancing we have to maintain, and we have to take care of our mask.
Okay, we will just see in the Holi how much Holi people will be playing this time, because how the social distancing will be there, I don't understand in Holi.
Yeah, I have seen the Barsana Holi.
So, and you have seen how much crowd was there.
Yeah.
And even the government officials were not wearing the mask. We are talking that the government officials are serious. They are also not serious. Sorry to say. Yes, Mr. Rakesh Jha, your views, please.
My views is very simple as usual. All the precautionary measures that they have discussed already. I can say, like in Finland model, government should give free internet to every household, at least the rural areas who cannot afford. simultaneously the food, etc., everything, so that they can, and if possible, in some of the communities, not every household, but in some of the communities, maybe like one TV screen kinds of thing, so that the students can sit together in a open area and they can see like this.
Okay,
That would be
thank you very much. So today you have seen the COVID returns impact on students. Our aim is not to create fear, but to create awareness, which we were doing for last 1 year. We want the people should understand that it is a serious thing. It is not that, oh, now we have been vaccinated or we are quite young, we are not going to face. It's not like this. The second variant, as per the medical reports, comes from UK, is impacting the youth more, the young generation more. So we have to be very, very careful. And government should also take care for the students, for the teachers, for the institutions. After all, if we will not take care of them, how we are expecting good doctors, good scientists who will take care of us? And the civil society must also think that if we will not follow the norms set by the government, then we are not supposed to blame the government only. We must wear the mask. We must keep the social distancing. We must have the hand sanitization without asking by any government official. We must do it ourselves, not for ourselves, for our children. After all, the children are of your own. Don't think that you are so selfish. Please come forward and take a pledge that from today onwards, no religious ceremonies unless it is with the social distancing. No, nothing like that, what we are seeing in last 1 month. We have to be more responsible. Then only we will be able to curtail this corona. Otherwise, next year, the whole year, I will be doing the program of corona COVID returns. Thank you very much. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, as well as it was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you every day a new topic. And tomorrow, media conference with Lal Goel, the topic is Amazing Assam. And our panelists are Dr. Rajiv Anand, Senior Psychiatrist, Mumbai, Dr. Arvind Kumar Jha, EFS, former PCCF and DG, Social Forestry, Government of Maharashtra. Professor Dr. Dhruv B. Jyoti Bhuwan, Associate Professor, Assam Medical College, Dibrugarh. Dr. Bijoy Pratim Chaudhary, Senior Consultant Psychiatrist, Mind Care, Maligaon, Guwahati. So please do join tomorrow for media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai. Thank you very much, Dr. Manish Srivastav. Thank you very much, Ms. Parul Jindal. Thank you very much, Mr. Rakesh Jha, for joining us and giving such a your experienced and enlightening and inspirational views. I'm sure the viewers now understand the seriousness of this COVID returns. So if they will follow all the norms, they will be able to say goodbye. Otherwise, we have no other options to accept that the corona is returning back. Thank you. Thank you.